One day, mysterious gates connected to a dimension called Mato popped up everywhere like spam ads. Behind those gates are dangerous monsters called Shuki that treat humans like snacks. Luckily, Peaches in Mato gave humans superpowers. But only girls get the buffs, leaving the boys to watch from the sidelines with envy. Our main character, Yuki, is in the same boat. He dreamed of being a hero, but since he didn't awaken any system powers, he's basically playing the game of life on hardcore mode. Unlike Yuki, the girls got all sorts of op skills thanks to the Peaches. Yuki isn't great at saving the world, but he's a guard at housework. Too bad that skill doesn't attract waifus. Since boys don't get powers, his sister trained him in the domestic arts since he was a kid. But years ago, she got kidnapped by Shuki in Mato, leaving Yuki with some serious emotional damage. On his way home from school, a white fog appeared and isekai'd Yuki straight into Mato. In this situation, an NPC like Yuki can only sit tight and wait for the anti-demon cause to save his bacon. Suddenly, a wild Shuki appeared, forcing Yuki to run for his life. A horde of them showed up, plunging our boy into despair. Yuki thought it was game over, but a girl from the anti-demon cause arrived just in time. She one-shot the trash mobs instantly. She's Kyoka, the boss of the 7th squad. More monsters were incoming, so Kyoka told him to hide behind her. She turned a Shuki into a mount and rushed Yuki out of the encirclement. Minutes later, Kyoka's squad mates arrived to provide backup. Himari turned her arm into a machine gun and went burr on the Shuki. The blonde girl, Shashu, went full attack on Titan mode, and Tiny Knight acted as a pro-raider system. Seeing the anti-demon cause in action, Yuki thought they looked incredibly badass. Thanks to Nai's ability, they found a survivor. The kid woke up and panicked, asking for his sister. Meanwhile, Kyoka gave Yuki a tutorial on Mato's survival. 1. Hide and camp. 2. Run if you see monsters. 3. Shut up. Suddenly, they saw a girl about to get attacked, so Kyoka rushed over to save her. Her mount was slow as a snail, so she had to use her sword's munchip to fight. Yuki saw the kid in danger and ignored his survival instincts to save her. Kyoka reacted fast, creating a small barrier to block the attack. She smiled to reassure them, but the barrier was just buying a few seconds. Kyoka has topped his sword skills, but people mocked her dream of becoming Supreme Commander because her ability was considered trash. Her power allows her to enslave Shuki. She never used it on a human male because she thought men were useless. But desperate times call for desperate measures. She asked Yuki to help. He thought he'd be a hero, but she actually meant be my slave. Total shock. Yuki was terrified of fighting, but he already said, I'll do anything, so no backing out now. Kyoka extended her hand. Become my slave. Yuki had never touched a girl before, so this was his moment to shine. When Yuki kissed Kyoka's hand, he transformed into a super beast called Slave, one-punching the Shuki to oblivion. Even Kyoka and the girls were shocked by how buff Yuki got. She put the kid on Yuki's back, and they tore through the enemy encirclement. With Yuki's power, Kyoka was unstoppable. Plus, riding him felt kinda stimulating. Kyoka quickly reunited the siblings with her squad. Just then, the defeated Shuki merged into a giant boss monster. Kyoka told the girls to escort the kids while she handled the big guy. The giant threw a massive rock, but that wasn't enough to stop the dynamic duo. Yuki smashed through the rock, letting Kyoka finish the boss with a single slash. After the contract ended, Yuki reverted to human form. Kyoka told the squad to go ahead. She had business with this boy. She was surprised by his power and asked him to be her slave permanently. Yuki was like, excuse me, WTF. Then Kyoka suddenly kissed him. He was surprised, but then she called him a perv. Mixed signals much. It's the cost of the contract. When the slave works, the master must give a reward. Kyoka asked for another round, but Yuki politely declined, sensing danger. Kyoka didn't want it either, but her body moved on its own. She never expected this, since usually she just feeds Shuki some meat as a reward. She pushed Yuki down and kissed him again, from NPC to harem protagonist in one day. The kiss was nice, but search for the uncensored version yourselves, brothers. And just like that, our lucky boy Yuki lost his first kiss. While Yuki was still rebooting, Kyoka explained the danger of the Shuki. But the current Supreme Commander is lazy and indifferent, so Kyoka wants to become the boss to change things. She officially invited Yuki to join her squad. Yuki was happy, but admitted he had zero talent except for housework. Kyoka said that's perfect because they needed a janitor, housekeeper. Plus, Yuki risked his life to save a kid, showing true bravery. In the real world, Yuki would just be a corporate slave. But in Mato, he could fight Shuki, avenge his sister, and be a hero. Plus the rewards, he couldn't refuse. Kyoka was happy she recruited a new teammate. Yuki was brought to the 7th squad dorms to meet the harem. He thought he was special for being the only male member, but Kyoka introduced him as the new manager janitor. Yuki's jaw dropped. No glorious hero intro. My girls are strong, but high maintenance, and we need a cleaner. Good luck, bro. Yuki felt scammed. He's just cheap labor. Nai welcomed him, but finding out his superior is an 11-year-old was a heavy blow to his ego. But Kyoka was genuinely glad he was there. Yuki's first mission, clean the dorms. A wild Shuki attacked, but the barrier saved him. Nai explained they are in a high danger zone. Mato is divided into areas guarded by different squads. Yuki learned a lot, But taking orders from a primary schooler was still weird. Himari sniped the Shuki before it could breach the barrier. Yuki worried about friendly fire, which offended Himari. She ordered him to cook dinner and scolded him for his attitude. He realized he was at the bottom of the food chain here, but his cooking was S tier, earning praise from the girls. Good cook means good cleaner. The gaslighting worked. Yuki almost forgot he came here to be a hero, not a maid. When he complained to Kyoka, Himari warned him to watch his tone with the captain. Luckily, Kyoka defended him, but if he tries anything funny, I'll castrate him. While cleaning the ceiling, Yuki accidentally saw Himari's scenery. Himari looked up, but Yuki ducked in time. Shashu caught him. He tried to explain, but she had proof. She shrank herself to spy on him and took a photo, caught in 4000. She blackmailed him into being her personal slave, or his little bird would fly away forever. Yuki had to clean her room, which was a pigsty, clothes, trash, and even panties everywhere. Yuki was embarrassed. Shashu was like, "You're the cleaner, just do it." When he picked up her panties, she snapped another photo. Framed, he can't wash away this crime even in the Yellow River. Yuki hoped Kyoka would be reasonable if Shashu snitched. Just then, he saw Kyoka sparring with Himari. A Shuki appeared and Kyoka beat it like an abusive parent. Yuki realized if Kyoka misunderstood, he'd be dead before he could explain. Nai said the three of them had a meeting, leaving Yuki alone with Shashu. "Shashu is a good person," Nai said. "Good person, my foot. She's a menace." Left alone, Yuki had to massage Shashu. He thought about asserting dominance as a man, but didn't want to lose his integrity. He used to massage his sister, so his skills were pro-level. Shashu found it interesting, being her first time touched by a boy. She wanted him to be her slave forever. "Haven't you tortured him enough?" She came to Mato seeking excitement. She challenged him to a game. Loser strips. Yuki grinned mischievously, but turns out he was the noob, not the pro. Down to his last piece of clothing, he warned her about the beast inside him. "If I lose control, you're in danger." Shashu was like, "Ooh, scary?" She grew giant and asked, "Who's in danger now, bro?" She saw his beast and laughed. "That's it. It's tiny." Emotional damage, critical hit. Suddenly, a giant Shuki attacked the base, interrupting their fun. Since Kyoka was gone, Shashu went giant mode, fighting like Ultraman. She spun the monster around and finished it with a kick, but she got tired from being too big. Then she got sucker punched by a new enemy type. Small Shuki merged with it, making it even bigger. Shashu tried to power up, but failed due to cool down. She got grabbed and pummeled. Yuki felt useless without Kyoka. He realized he transformed by touching Kyoka, so maybe her items would work. He ran to find something. Kissing her glove gave him a boost. Sniffing her shirt transformed one leg. He found her boots. ISHOULD and single quotes T. But I must. Shashu was in danger. No time for dignity. Licking boots to become a hero. Done? Shashu was getting wrecked. Karma for teasing him. She usually overdoes it and runs out of stamina, shrinking to small mode. Just as she was about to faint, Yuki appeared in half-transformed mode. Shashu held the monster, and Yuki delivered the finishing kick. He reverted to human form and landed face first into Shashu's cleavage. Shashu saw his beast had turned into a phoenix. She was terrified. Yuki got rewarded by Kyoka later a beating for transforming without permission. She also scolded Shashu for being reckless. The barrier was damaged but repairing itself. Shashu offered to clean for Yuki as thanks, but she kept the photo of his phoenix. Yuki screamed. After saying that, Shashu kind of fell for him. Meanwhile, another squad fought a humanoid Shuki. It was Aoba, Yuki's lost sister. She sensed her brother in Mato and went looking for him. On a rare day off, Kyoka took Yuki to the human world. Kyoka in casual clothes looked stunning. Yuki was smitten. He asked where they were going, but got ignored. Shashu was looking for Yuki back at base. They went to a memorial for the Mato disaster victims. Kyoka remembered the Shuki attack from her childhood. There was a one-horned Shuki that stood out. The army wiped them out, or so she thought. She later learned the one horn escaped back to Mato. Kyoka swore to kill it for revenge. She asked Yuki to remember this goal. She wanted to leave immediately, but Yuki suggested getting sweets. He saw she was stressed and wanted her to relax. Kyoka admitted the sweets looked good, but duty calls. Yuki understood her pain, having lost his sister too, but he worried she'd burn out before finding the one horn. Kyoka finally smiled after tasting the sweets. That smile reminded Yuki of his sister. His sister taught him cooking since he wasn't blessed by peaches. Suddenly, an emergency alert sounded. Trouble in Mato. Kyoka rode Yuki back to base ASAP. Back at base, Kyoka called Yuki to the changing room. His reward for the trip, scrubbing her back. Yuki acted shy, which annoyed Kyoka. She called him to please others because his body was honest, even if his mouth wasn't. A new vortex appeared nearby, surrounded by Shuki. Kyoka declared it a major mission. Yuki was hyped. Kyoka and Yuki arrived first. She told him to watch while Himari and Shashu engaged the mobs. The plan, wait for the mobs to merge into a boss, then kill it. Efficiency. Suddenly, Shashu got blasted by unknown energy. Aoba appeared, riding the one-horned Shuki, a humanoid Shuki. Aoba attacked Himari, sending her flying. Kyoka recognized the one horn. Aoba introduced herself as an enemy looking for the handsomest brother in the world. Then she lunged at Kyoka. Aoba fought, while yapping about her cute brother and how she used to discipline him. The giant Shuki interrupted her monologue, so she obliterated it instantly. Yuki saw her angry face and felt a familiar chill down his spine. It looked exactly like his sister when she was mad. Before he could confirm, they started fighting again. Aoba knocked Kyoka back. She grabbed Yuki, one looking for a sister, one looking for a brother. Match made in heaven. They stared at each other, recognizing the family bond. But Kyoka slashed Aoba, wounding her. Aoba fled on the one horn. Kyoka was furious. She wanted to chase, but Yuki stopped her to save the squad mates. Kyoka calmed down and ordered Yuki to protect Shashu and Himari. She blamed herself for losing her cool. The girls were safe. Reward time. Kyoka stepped on Yuki. Yuki was terrified of his own M potential. Yuki had to report something, but Kyoka told him to speak while working. She thanked him for stopping her rage, though the method of thanks was ... unique. She claimed it was what Yuki subconsciously wanted. She discussed the humanoid Shuki. Yuki revealed he felt it was his sister. He mentioned the big eyes connection. Kyoka dismissed it. She said her brother was handsome. You're average, savage. More rewards followed. Yuki looked like he was in heaven. He realized Kyoka was exposed and got trampled harder. If that was his sister, why attack them? But the cis radar didn't lie. He almost burned dinner thinking about it. Nai ordered him to kneel for a lesson. She just patted his head and offered to help cook. Wholesome. Yuki cheered up. He'll find out next time. Aoba was getting healed by Koko. She was sure the monster was Yuki and wondered why he was with the cause. Yuki was showering when Shashu barged in to scrub his back. She warned him not to turn around because she was naked. He thought she was joking, turned around, and ... she wasn't joking. He fled. Shashu enjoyed teasing him way too much. He ran into Himari, who was about to shower. She chased him around for not announcing his bath time. 2 guests from the 6th squad saved him. Tenka 6th squad captain and Yachio Himari's sister. Tenka immediately started hitting on Yuki. Kyoka was annoyed Tenka was touching her slave. The Supreme Commander ordered squads to team up against the humanoid Shuki threat. Yachio marked Himari for being weak. You stay near Zuma name, go home. Kyoka is great, but having a useless deputy drags her down. Himari was furious, but couldn't retort. Kyoka realized the tension. Seeing Yuki looking clueless, Nai explained the Mato deathmatch rules, basically a face-to-face brawl. Kyoka proposed a 1v1 format, and Tenka agreed. Himari realized Kyoka set this up for her, so she asked to borrow the equipment. And Kyoka's equipment is Yuki, so our lucky boy is now Himari's temporary slave. That night, Yuki's cooking was S-tier as always. Kyoka knew Himari was salty about her sister's trash talk, so this match is her chance for revenge. But who's gonna eat dirt? We'll see. After dinner, Himari dragged the slave out for training. Himari's peach ability lets her copy other people's skills. Basically, she's Kirby. Suddenly, a wild pack of Shuki appeared to interrupt the grind. Himari sacrificed her body to transform Yuki, but his form was different from when he's with Kyoka. In this speed form, Yuki is fast as lightning, but hits like a wet noodle. Solution, just punch faster. After the fight, Himari had to lift her skirt for Yuki to check the tattoo. She forbade him from looking. But bro, you're the one showing it. She can only move when he feels the reward. Himari decided to just do it quickly, leaving our boy stunned. Most skills Himari copies are nerf versions of the original. Usually, Kyoka pays the reward cost, but Himari is willing to sacrifice her own body to borrow the power. Respect. The Azuma family is legendary, but Himari is the black sheep because she's clumsy. That's why Yachio always looks down on her. Himari wants to team up with Yuki to humble her big sister and reinvent herself. Yuki realized Himari also has a strong motivation to improve, just like him, so he agreed to help. Not that a slave has the right to refuse anyway. But when he learned Yachio can stop time, he realized he signed up for a suicide mission. Yachio couldn't understand why a noob like Himari challenged her, but she was eager to teach her a lesson. Yachio is op, but Himari believes in the power of friendship and strategy. Yachio poses like a JoJo character when using skills, so they need to strike first. Himari told Yuki to focus power on his legs. A Law Shuki appeared perfect for a damage test. Leg day focus met weak arms, so Yuki took forever to kill them all. The reward this time was head pats, surprisingly wholesome. Kyoka was worried about Himari's strategy since she just stood back and watched. To use a power effectively, you must understand it. So Himari decided to ride Yuki into battle. Kyoka's power is slave control, and with Himari riding him, Yuki got a buff. Yuki one-shotted the Shuki instantly. He was amazed, but after transforming, the fatigue hit him like a truck. Since it drained more stamina, the reward had to be bolder. Lucky bastard. Being a slave is truly the dream job. Squad 7 continued their training montage. Finally, Yuki learned a specialized move. Despite the hard work, they were smiling. Kyoka was proud of her kids. Match day arrived. Tenka showed up early. Himari was confident she'd win because Yachio doesn't know about this new combo. But after the match, Himari and Yuki will go back to being strangers. Sag. While they were bathing, Sahara from Squad 6 asked to join. The legendary sleepyhead. She must be strong. Later, the sisters bumped into Yachio in the lobby. Himari told Shashu to back off, It's family business. Himari usually preps well but gets sick before exams. Typical bad luck. Yachio wondered if she'd faint before the fight again. Savage. Yuki walked in, ending the staring contest. Judging by Himari's face, she won the trash talk round. Yuki believes Himari will win because of their hard work. Arriving at the arena, Yuki had to write his name on a board. Rina's barrier heals all wounds inside, but only for registered players. Admin privileges. Rina praised her own ability. Some say Peach powers reflect the user's personality. The captains praised her, and she got high on the compliments. But when Yuki tried to talk to her, she ignored him. Rude. Since Rina isn't a combatant, she made cheerleading gear. First match, Azuma Civil War. Yachio versus Himari. Yachio demanded Himari return home if she loses. Himari said, "I'm not a crybaby anymore," and transformed Yuki. Match start. Yuki rushed in, forcing Yachio to rewind time immediately. Yachio looked tired already. Himari knew she used her power. Himari expected this, but Yachio realized her little sister has leveled up. Flashback. Himari wanted to know if Yachio trained. Answer, no. She underestimated her. Knowing Yachio slacked off made Himari even more determined. Yachio uses a modified gun. She tried to stop time as Himari approached, but before she could, Yuki kicked her. Speed blitz. When injured, Yachio rewinds 5 seconds. Save scumming IL. She predicts Yuki's moves after the rewind. Yachio tried to stop time earlier, but they predicted it and dodged. Yachio started sweating. Himari's plan was working. Yuki felt Himari's thirst for victory, so he fought at 200% power. It looked like Team Himari was winning, but captains aren't that easy to beat. Himari felt how hard Yuki was fighting for her. She planned to apologize later. Yachio poses when using abilities, which is a dead giveaway. Yachio looked exhausted. Stopping time burned stamina. Himari thought they could outlast her. Yachio guessed their simple plan. Cute. She stopped time for 10 seconds. Surprise. 5 seconds wasn't enough range, but 10 seconds is a different story. When time resumed, Yuki and Himari were already beaten up. 10 seconds takes longer to cast, but she anticipated their dodge. Even the audience was shocked she could stop time for 10 seconds. She trash-talked Himari. "You're not on my level." Himari and Yuki were getting wrecked. If one can't stand, it's over. The sisters cheered for Himari. Yachio said it's useless because Himari always chokes at the last minute. Himari can't switch abilities mid-fight. She's stuck with the speed build. Hearing the mockery, Himari cried. All that effort for nothing. But Yuki said, "We ain't losing here." Yachio was arrogant, but she was sweating bullets. One more step to victory. Yuki was annoyed his master was so cocky. Himari stood up again, surprising Yachio. Yachio was tired but still threw shade. "Himari, never giving up is my magic." Yachio didn't finish her off earlier to make her feel despair. Villain move. Himari decided to use her ult. Yuki charged headfirst at Yachio, a suicide run. Before she could stop time, Yuki detransformed, creating a blinding light. Flashbang. When time stopped, Yachio saw only Yuki in front of her. Where's the girl? After 5 seconds, Himari popped up from below and shot her. Boom. Headshot. Yuki fell, but Yachio also passed out. Double ko? Himari stood up last. Squad 7 wins. Kyoka was impressed Himari researched Yuki's ability this well. Yuki was flat on his back. The girls were worried. Taking a hit from a captain is no joke. Normally he'd be dead. But inside Rina's barrier, he's fully healed. Magic. Himari realized Yuki was leaning on her. She blushed, but was happy they won. Yachio was actually happy her crybaby sister grew up. Soon redeemed. She acknowledged Himari's strength and asked her to come home again. Himari refused. "I belong to Squad 7. Yachio froze. Rejection X2. After such a fierce battle, it's reward time. Himari drank water and mouth-fed Yuki. The lucky lecture strikes again. Tenka noted this was Yuki's first fight against humans. He held back unconsciously. If he went all out, he could have killed Yachio instantly. And Yachio didn't kill them during the 10-second time stop either. Tenka was speechless at their softness. Yuki's performance, 0 tense as a soldier, 10 tense as a slave. Match 2 is starting, but Himari and Yuki were missing. Shashu went to check. Inside, Himari was still rewarding him. She kissed him passionately. Yuki was in heaven. But remember kids, it's just a transaction. Himari apologized for insulting him before. Shashu walked in and saw the dog food PDA. Caught in 4,000 again. Yachio apologized to Sahara for losing, but Sahara was sleeping while stretching. While they prepared, humanoid Shuki were watching from afar. Match 2, Sleepy, Sahara Squad 6 versus Shashu Squad 7. Shashu wants a reward like Himari, so she's motivated to win. Yuki was confused. Why does everyone want to ride me? Yachio became the cheerleader for Squad 6. Both are enhancement types. Shashu proposed a fistfight first. Sahara attacked first, but Shashu countered. Sahara suplexed her. That hurt. Sahara suggested using powers immediately. Shashu, buzzkill. Shashu used gigantfication, big girl mode. Sahara used her power too. She looked like a supercar engine revving up. Sahara's power. The shorter the time limit she sets, the stronger she gets. 3-minute cooldown. Small Sahara punched giant Shashu down. Physics.exe has stopped working. swing. Seihei punched Shashu's leg. Critical hit. Shashu is too big to dodge. She got pummeled. Despite the beating, Shashu didn't give up. Why is she so determined? Is it for that boy? At school, her friends bragged about boyfriends. But Shashu wasn't interested. She didn't get it then. But now she understands the thirst. Seihei thought Shashu would shrink to dodge. But Shashu said, go big or go home. Shashu grew even bigger. Body slam time. Seihei held her for a bit before getting flattened by Buddha's palm. After going full attack on Titan mode, Shashu started looking totally gassed out. Thought that was enough to cause Seihei. Nope. She's back and spicier than ever. Because if Seihei gets knocked out, her battle instincts take the wheel. Autopilot mode on. And with that buff strength, Seihei slapped Shashu so hard her wardrobe almost malfunctioned, snatching the win instantly. That's why Seihei was trained to sleep anytime, anywhere. Ultimate nap master. After the match, both sisters got healed by Rina. Shashu apologized to the captain for losing, looking sadder than a puppy in the rain. But Shashu wasn't sad about the loss. She was bummed that Yuki saw her looking pathetic. Yuki offered to get her some water, but she was like, nah fam, I'm good. All she wanted was for Yuki to make her forget that embarrassing L she just took. Yuki didn't think she was pathetic at all, just lacking intel on the enemy. Typical protagonist encouragement. Then Shashu told him to close his eyes. The moment he did, she planted a kiss on him. Surprise attack. Our boy enjoyed it, but asked why though. She said she needed something spicy to blow away the shock of losing. After this match, Shashu knew she had to grind harder to raise her waifu value in Yuki's eyes. While everyone was fighting, Kyoko ordered Nai to scan the area. And sure enough, little Nai spotted 3 humanoid Shuki creeping in the distance. One of them noticed Nai spying and sent a message. Tell the squads the party is about to start. Suddenly, a swarm of Shuki popped up like daisies, interrupting the friendly match. Rina told everyone to chill because her barrier was top tier. Famous last words. Her barrier got shattered by a humanoid Shuki in literally 1 second. So Kyoko paused the friendly match to deal with the real threat. While Tenka escorted the non-combatants to the dorms, Kyoko and the gang stayed to throw hands. Hearing the commotion, Yuki and Shashu arrived just in time to join the brawl. Shashu immediately went giant mode to sweep the trash mobs. When Shashu got sneak attacked, Seihei transformed to cover her back. While the physical DPS duo swept the floor, Himori engaged a humanoid named Raiden, but her attacks did 0 damage. Raiden summoned an iron pillar to squash Himori, but Yachio saved her little sis just in time. He felt like Yachio saw right through his moves. Hacks on. To fight the humanoid, Himari asked Captain Kyoko to borrow Yuki's power, even though he's Kyoko's slave. Kyoko agreed instantly, believing that with 2 masters, Yuki would unlock a new, stronger form. As predicted, after Yuki kissed Himari's hand, he transformed into a new form, Endless Chain, War Cloud. He felt the power surging, similar to what Aoba did back then. He charged up energy in his mouth and fired a Kamehameha, blasting the Shuki away. They rode Yuki forward to continue the cleanup duty. Kyoko believed Yachio would be fine since the 6th unit captain, Tenka, was still there. After getting the VIPs to safety, Tenka got intel from Nai about 2 more humanoid Shuki. To make up for the cancelled match, Kyoko and Tenka decided to show everyone how captains fight. Rina was sad she couldn't see, but Nai let her stream the fight by touching her. For K-Live stream. Any Shuki that stepped to Kyoko got sliced into confetti. Usually, Shuki need peach powers to be killed, but Kyoko is built different. She developed a unique technique to kill them without peach energy. Pure skill issue for the demons. That's why she's a captain. And with Yuki, she's basically unstoppable. Speaking of which, Rina's clothes exploded like in some cooking anime. Fan service alert. Meanwhile, Raiden was spamming lightning attacks at Yachio. His firepower was insane, so she could only dodge. One slip up and she got her arm blown off by a blast. So Yachio had to rewind time to fix it, which drained her stamina big time. Just as Raiden was about to finish her, Tenka appeared, triggering his danger sensor. Tenka had already wiped out the army summoned by Varine in a blink. Reports said there were 2 more humanoids, so Tenka decided Raiden was next on the chopping block. Raiden was actually hyped to fight someone that strong. Squad 7's power level spiked thanks to Yuki's new form, but the enemy Zerg rush was endless. Kyoko had to jump in to support Yuki. Seihei and Shashu were also holding their own, but Raiden ignored the small fry. His target was the captain's. He fired a lightning bolt at Tenka, but she teleported behind him like nothing personnel. Kid. Raiden kept blasting, but against a teleporter, it was useless. Rina quickly found some clothes to continue watching the captains show priorities. Tenka created a spatial vortex that wounded Raiden. He wrapped himself in lightning and rushed her. Tenka tanked it like a boss and punched him back. Then she made a giant vortex, sucking Raiden into a black hole. Her power involves manipulating space, called a Manamatori. Seeing Tenka's op strength, Yuki felt his dream of becoming Supreme Commander might be a bit far-fetched. But Kyoko was confident she'd win. Then they split up to clean up the remaining mob. Even after clearing the mobs, Nai reported the humanoid bosses were missing. Nai scanned the area but found nothing. She apologized for the late detection, but the big sisters told her it wasn't her fault. Tenka praised Yuki, making our boy blush. After that battle, Rina officially became a Yuki fangirl. Himari thanked her sister for saving her, but Yachio claimed it was just for family honor. Soon to alert, Yachio wanted her sister to come home, but Himari refused. So Yachio got salty. The friendly match was a draw, and both captains regretted not fighting each other. Yuki went to war sharp and got a reward from Himari and Kyoka. They didn't expect to bathe with him. Himari told herself, it's just like washing a dog. Yuki was so happy he couldn't speak. One word and he'd melt. Later, Nai drew the enemy generals. Her skills were surprisingly pro. These guys looked totally different from the one Yuki and Kyoka fought before. Where was that one-horned lady? That night, while Yuki was sleeping, Tenka teleported into his room. Creep or romantic, you decide. Next morning, Kyoka, Himari, and Yuki went to the 6th Squad dorms. Kyoka and Tenka had a big meeting about the humanoid Shuki. Meanwhile, Himari and Yuki mingled with the 6th Squad members. Since the 6th Squad manager was out, Yuki filled in as the temp manager. Seeing Tenka's flirty smile, Yuki got a power boost. Manager sounds fancy, but she really just wanted him to clean the house. But the 6th Squad dorms were cleaner than Squad 7's, so Yuki didn't have much to do. They actually have a compound manager. Yuki moved to laundry duty, but it was all girls' clothes, so he hesitated. A gentleman's dilemma. He does this at Squad 7 all the time, but doing it here felt weird. Back home, Shashu wanted to hang out with Yuki, but remembered she needed to clean her messy room to raise her value first. Meanwhile, Yuki was delivering stuff to Yachio. Thinking about how she treats Himari, he wondered if she'd treat him like trash. He knocked. No answer. He decided to bring her uniform inside. He opened the door and found a shrine of Himari photos. Sisgon confirmed. His survival instincts told him to leave her SAP. Then Yuki found Sahara sleeping on a sofa. He tried to put a blanket on her, but she sleep grappled him into an awkward position. When she woke up, she helped him clean. Nice lady. Later, Yuki saw Yachio working out. Himari was waiting for her to finish. Himari realized Yachio never stops training, even right before a match. Yachio's personality might be trash, but her dedication is top tier. Himari admitted she has a lot to learn. There's a theory that H powers reflect the user's personality. Himari's copyability probably comes from her desire to learn from her sister. Yachio's time manipulation might be because she wants more time with her little sister, but Himari would never believe that, since Yachio bullied her for years. Sahara just wants the sisters to get along. After seeing Yachio's creepy room, Yuki also hoped they'd reconcile. Himari brought a towel to Yachio, who acted cold and pissed her off again. Sahara suggested Himari visit Yachio's room. Yuki panicked internally. Don't go in there. Back at the meeting, Kyoka suggested tracking the humanoids to take the initiative. Tenka counted for humanoids so far. Even though she crushed one, she didn't feel it die. Correct. Raiden returned to base to meet the other two. Before the black hole got him, Shikoku opened a portal to save him. He wanted to keep fighting, but Shikoku said tactical retreat. Bro, she had already wiped Squad 3 captain was absent. They attacked Squad 6 and 7 to test the captains and realized they were. Shikoku decided to wait until all 8 generals were gathered before attacking again. Avengers Assemble style. Meeting over. Before leaving, Tenka asked Kyoka to give her Yuki. Just straight up ask for him. I've been perfect my whole life. It's boring. Can I have him? In exchange, Tenka would vote for Kyoka in the next Supreme Commander election. Corruption. Kyoka refused. She wants to win with her own strength. And she wasn't selling her slay. Tenka, shameless as ever, demanded a date with Yuki anyway. Yuki was shocked Tenka wanted him. He said he's busy being Squad 7's manager slay, but Kyoka had said she wouldn't interfere with his personal life. So technically he could date. But let's be real, with all the chores, he has zero free time. Yuki went to shower, but the girls hogged the bathroom. He was happy Tenka liked him, but he's here to be a hero, not a pet. Suddenly, Tenka portaled into his room again. No boundaries. She sat down and told him she's into him and wants a date. His dedication to his master made her fall for him. Then she called him a cute younger pet. Yuki, am I a joke to you? She kissed him again and dropped some cheesy lines. Then she pushed him onto the bed. Aggressive. She portaled his shirt away. Yuki was paralyzed by fear, or excitement. Cat at the mouth of the jar but Yuki is Mr. Integrity. Just then, Shashu burst in to ask him to play games and caught them in 4,000. Kyoka said she wouldn't interfere, but sneaking into another squad's dorm at night. That's a paddling. She scolded them. Shashu agreed. Unacceptable. She was jealous. Kyoka sent everyone to bed, but Tenka clearly hasn't given up. Next morning, Kyoka decided to test the slave lending ability for the upcoming war. Shashu and Nai would ride Yuki. His characteristics might change with each rider, giving them more tactical options. Nai was up first. When she grabbed the chain, Yuki transformed into Endless Chain, Scout Mode. Stats dropped, but sensors went through the roof. He gained X-ray vision and accidentally saw things he shouldn't, Himari cried. Since Kyoko was lending him out, it drained her stamina more than usual. After transforming, Nai rewarded him with a cheek kiss. FBI safe. Kyoko apologized to Nai, thinking she had to give the reward herself. Hearing that, Shashu hatched a plot to corrupt Mr. Integrity. She asked to ride Yuki next. Kyoka warned her she'd have to reward him with weird stuff. Shashu pretended to be worried, but was internally screaming yes. She jumped on his back, way too excited. With Shashu, Yuki turned into a tank form. Power up, speed down. Kyoka thought he was uselessly slow and tried to cancel it. Shashu screamed, "Wait sis." She realized if she grew giant, Yuki might grow too. They synced up, grew giant, and Yuki ended up carrying her like a princess. For the reward, Shashu had to bandage him. She was bored out of her mind. Where's the Eki stuff? Kyoka got tired from lending him out. She needs to do cardio. Nai's alarm went off. Time for school. Yuki wondered why a kid was in the anti-demon cause. Yuki asked to walk her to school to chat. Kyoka gave him a pass. They went through the gate back to the human world. Yuki asked why she joined. Nai's parents disappeared in a Mato disaster. She hoped to find them. So she works and studies, hoping to reunite. There are rumors of missing people reappearing. Her clairvoyance ability probably came from her desire to find them. Yuki encouraged her, thinking of his own sister. Meanwhile, the Supreme Commander ordered not to attack humanoids on sight, but to try talking. Maybe get intel. Talk no jutsu. Kyoka thought that was naive. Demons don't negotiate. Yuki came back and found Tenka chilling in their dorm again. She was teasing him hard. Nai saw them and was shocked. Kyoka covered her eyes, rated a content kid. Suddenly, alarms blared. Shashu and Himari found unauthorized portals. Tenka teleported everyone there. It was Squad 7's turf, so Kyoka wanted to handle it. Yuki noticed Kyoka seemed grumpy. She said she wouldn't interfere with his love life, but now she forbade him from flirting with other captains. She jelly. I thought you cared, but I'm just a slave to you. Tenka smiled and backed off, seeing Kyoka mark her territory. Kyoka vented her jealousy on the poor Shuki. They found a new Shuki type with Super Egan, but with their new combo move, it was a ZPZ. Shikoku was watching, amused. She made that new type, but it was kinda mid. Squad 7 wiped the rest. Yuki felt stronger this time. Maybe Kyoka's scolding is a buff. M confirmed. Tenka saw Yuki was a slave to the bone, which made her like him even more. Days later, Kyoka and Yuki trained. His reflexes improved. He punched a sneaker Shuki. Bam! Kyoka praised him. He's getting close to protecting her. Because of that daydream, his reward was being princess carried by Kyoka. That was too cheap, so her body moved on its own and kissed him. Lucky bastard. The sisters were happy he got stronger. But Squad 6's captain appeared out of nowhere again. Kyoka and Shashu were visibly jealous, which fueled Tenka even more. Yuki thought he improved fast because his sister trained him since childhood. He really admires his sister. Flashback. Tiny Yuki got bullied. Aoba appeared to save him. She beat up a guy bigger than her. Yuki also got a hit in. She used him as a sparring partner, so he got tough. Aoba praised him and bought him food. Best sis. Yuki is proud when talking about her. Kyoka gave him a day off. She hoped Tenka wouldn't swoop in. Nai detected a person in danger. Vacation cancelled. Squad 7 rolled out. A girl was running from 3 Shuki. Himari and Shashu saved her. Himari asked if she was okay, and the girl punched her. Plot twist. It was Koko, a humanoid Shuki. It was a trap. Himari blocked it just in time. Koko summoned a mob to surround them. Himari tried to negotiate peace as per orders. Yuki got hornier after fighting. Wait. Transcription error Turk Nun Dam Hun. Probably MDN Hun. Stronger. Or is it referring to the rewards making him pervy? Let's assume stronger. Wilder. Kyoka ordered him to transform before he could even change clothes. Emergency. Himari fought Koko, but her pet bear was super tanky. Himari upgraded her machine gun to missiles. Koko had to dodge. Koko punched back, shaking the ground. Shashu fought a spider Shuki with weapons. Naone popped out of the spider and attacked Shashu. Another trap. Kyoka and Yuki rushed to help and ran into Aoba. Kyoka ordered Yuki to attack, but Aoba ordered him to stop. He obeyed his sister, blood greater than master. Aoba grabbed him and bailed, leaving mobs to delay Kyoka. Himari and Shashu were shocked. Yuki was the target all along. NTR. Kyoka wanted to chase, but ordered a retreat to heal his squad. Yuki woke up feeling good. Koko was licking his wounds. Is this Shuki heaven? He realized he was kidnapped and being licked by monsters. He obeyed the command earlier, so he knew it was his sister. Aoba walked in, saw Koko being weird with her naked brother, and smacked her. Don't touch the goods. Naone explained Yuki was naked after transforming and Koko was just healing him. Aoba instantly flipped the switch and praised Koko. Definitely his sister. Same erratic personality. Aoba hugged him. Yuki cried. She's alive. Yuki wanted to see her current form. Aoba told him to dress up first. Yuki stepped out into a hidden village. Hidden village of the Peach. No peaches here. Off the core's radar. About 20 humanoid Shuki live here. They were all humans once. Half human, half monster, but still have human hearts. Aoba wanted Yuki to stay instead of being a slave to the cause. Yuki told them to talk to the cause. They're nice, I swear. Bad move. They hate the cause. Faces went dark. They consider the cause mortal enemies. Yuki was confused. Meanwhile, Shashu got bandaged but looked depressed. Nai searched but couldn't find Yuki. Kyoka locked herself in her room. Since they can't attack, they're stuck. Himari comforted Shashu. They just kidnapped him. He's probably safe. Kyoka was pissed Yuki obeyed someone else. Jealousy or master's pride. Suddenly, she sensed him. Because she hadn't rewarded him yet. The contract connection. Back at the village, Yuki asked how Aoba knew he was in Mato. Aoba explained that she has a Brocon radar. not some sci-fi proton sensor. Seeing Yuki hungry, Aoba went to fetch food. Best big sis ever. Yuki apologized for his sister being a bit extra, but the locals love her. Yuki saw Coco eating a strange mushroom and got curious. He took one sniff and got higher than a kite. Aoba came back with food and saw her brother sandwiching the two girls. Is this lucky pervert skill passive? Meanwhile, Kyoka's body moved on its own withdrawal symptoms, ordering a rescue mission for Yuki. After sobering up from the magic shrooms, Yuki noticed Aoba holding a legendary peach. Back when they lived together, she hadn't eaten one yet. She revealed the peach is why she looks like a monster now, and decided to drop the law bomb. Nai stayed at base to contact HQ. Tech support duty. Squad 6 led by Tenka arrived to join the Save Private Yuki operation. Yuki wanted the truth, so Naon asked permission to share her dark backstory. Trigger warning, it's sad. In the human world, Naon was a pro model. One day, she got isekai to Mato. She wanted to save her beauty for old age, but to survive, she had to eat a peach. But the peach's power went berserk. She woke up in a lab called the Yin Yang Bureau. Sounds sketchy already. Her body started mutating, which freaked her out. The scientists wanted her to cooperate because she was a special existence. When she refused, they literally knelt and begged. Simps, no, just desperate. For the sake of humanity, Naon agreed. Big mistake. They treated her like a lab rat, experimenting on her daily. Luckily, she awakened a phasing ability and led a prison break. Many other humanoid Shuki escaped too. They all share the same tragic origin story. Naon's story horrified Yuki. Unlike Coco and Naon, Aoba's power went wild, but she found this village and fought to keep her sanity. That's why Aoba is planning to raid the bureau to save her friends. Since Mato is a national gold mine, the government hid the dark truth. Yuki only learned this thanks to meeting Aoba's group. Aoba gathered an army to attack the Yin Yang Bureau. She even tamed powerful Shuki, like that one-horned nemesis of Kyoka. Yuki told them to chill because the anti-demon cause won't just sit back and watch. But Aoba said talking is useless since the Supreme Commander is also complicit. She told Yuki not to worry since they can regenerate. Just then, Aoba sensed the anti-demon cause approaching. Squad 6 and 7 found Aoba's hideout. Tenka, furious that her crush was kidnapped, was ready to burn the place down. Kyoka prioritized rescuing Yuki and avoiding unnecessary fights. She remembered the order to try talk no jutsu with humanoids. Suddenly, a swarm of Shuki appeared, but Yachio froze time and deleted them. Shashu tried to go giant to open the cave, but Coco blocked the entrance. Coco sent her bear pet, but Sahara stopped it with one hand. Strong. Shashu and Sahara decided to handle Coco so the others could enter. Inside, there were no peach trees, which was weird. Naon appeared to block the path. Boss fight time. The Azuma sisters Yachio and Himori stayed to fight Naon. Aoba told Yuki to stay inside, but Kyoka crashed the party. While Aoba was distracted, Tenka teleported Yuki away. Yoink. Seeing her brother snatched by two girls right in front of her, Aoba went rage mode. Kyoka wanted to finish rewarding Yuki because her battery was low. But in this position, who is the slave here? Tenka was jealous seeing Kyoka suck Yuki's finger. Get a room. But she allowed the refueling for the sake of the mission. How generous. Kyoka said they needed to be quick. Yuki was amazed they could discuss strategy while doing that. Taking too long, Aoba found them. She attacked, but Yuki jumped in to shield his captors. He begged his sister to listen. Seeing his determination, Aoba sighed and paused. Sensing Aoba's killing intent drop, Kyoka finally believed she was Yuki's sister. Yuki explained the whole human experimentation situation to Kyoka and Tenka. Back at base, Nai prepared a feast, trusting Yuki would return safely. Wholesome Loli believes in her Oni-chan. Outside, Sahara and Shashu struggled because they were ordered not to kill Coco. Seeing Coco refusing to talk, they decided to get serious. While everyone was busy, another group of humanoids was waiting to kill Steel. The Azuma sisters wiped out the mobs. Yachio did most of the work. Let's be real. Since Naon's ability was unknown, Yachio played defensively. Kyoka said if the story is true, she destroyed the Yin Yang Bureau herself. But Aoba refused. She wants to do it herself. Plus, gaining the captain's trust means nothing. Aoba doesn't trust Kyoka because she treats Yuki like a slave. Fair point. But Yuki explained he's a willing slave to become a hero. Aoba realized he considers them comrades. Aoba still wanted to attack, but Kyoka and Tenka stood in her way to prevent casualty. Aoba tied Yuki up. Sit still, little brother. Negotiations failed. Time to throw hands. Aoba summoned One Horn, making it a 2v2. Kyoka versus One Horn. Aoba versus Tenka. Tenka introduced herself as the future sister-in-law. Aoba wanted to punch her even more now. Above ground, Sahara was getting fed onions beaten up by Coco. Shashu fought the bear but dealt 0 damage. The bear is a tank. Coco is slime-based. Physical attacks are useless. Yachio defeated the spider Shuki but lost her clothes in the process. Fan service moment. She got distracted and Himari got sneak attacked by Naon. Shikoku the villain saw this chaos as the perfect chance to third party everyone. Nai was praying, please don't die. Aoba fired blasts at the captains, but they dodged. Kyoka landed a hit on the one horn. Since their first encounter, Kyoka trained specifically to kill this thing. Even without Yuki, her sword's munship is elite. Tenka used black holes, but missed. Aoba went max speed to dodge. Tenka was sweating. Eating too many peaches is usually bad, but Aoba turned into a limitless energy battery. Anyone touching my brother gets a free trip to the afterlife. Albar's sensors were so sharp, she could see Tenka's portals forming. Her relentless attacks kept Tenka on the defensive. Tenka can teleport 666 times. She just needs to stall until Kyoka wins. Shashu started throwing rocks at the bear. It did nothing, and she got smacked. Koko is slime and as Regan. Opt FPLS nerve. Koko taunted Shashu by saying she licked Yuki all over. Shashu triggered. Sahara recognized the bear as the one from the disaster 8 years ago. They initiated Plan S. Shashu punched the ground to create a smoke screen. Koko rode the bear to chase them. Shashu shrank, and Sahara threw her into the bear's mouth. Trojan horse tactic. Shashu grew giant inside the bear. Explosion. Sahara used the bear's fang as a weapon to stab Koko. Plan S succeeded. GG easy. Sahara's timer ran out, so Shashu healed her with saliva, weird power. Yachio had to rewind time to save Himari from Naon's sneak attacks. Naon was camping in the ground. Yachino kept rewinding to save her sister. Naon's strategy: spawn kill Himari until Yachio runs out of mana. Just as Naon went for the kill, Himari saved her sister. Himari realized her big sister had been spamming rewind to protect her. Now it's her turn. Naon was hiding in the earth. Himari couldn't hit her, but Yachio said, I can. Yachio wanted a defensive formation. Himari refused. She wanted to be aggressive. Himari revealed her trump card. I'm not the same noob as before. She turned her hair into guns. Unlimited gun works. She sprayed and prayed, destroying the cave walls to expose Naon. Naon was impressed by the recklessness. Knowing exactly where Naon was, Yachio rewound time 10 seconds, pre-fire hacks. She one-shotted Naon. Yachio praised Himari and asked her to come home. Himari said no, rejected. Injured, Naon fled to a group with Aoba. Aoba was still overwhelming Tenka. Tenka tricked Aoba into punching her own one horn, friendly fire. Kyoka slashed Aoba, but she tanked it. Tenka launched a black hole at the disoriented Aoba. She could have killed her, but realized, wait, that's my sister-in-law, and held back. Because she hesitated, Aoba blasted Tenka back. Tenka fell. Aoba was confused why she stopped. Tenka, if you die, Yuki will be sad. She's feeling emotions she never felt before. Love is powerful. Aoba, I'm tough. I wouldn't have died. But hearing Tenka care about Yuki, Aoba rated her 10 tenths waifu material. Tenka started planning the wedding and naming their kids immediately. Kyoka was now in a 1v2. Koko and Naon arrived, but they were defeated. Shashu and Himari arrived too. The tables have turned. Suddenly, Shikoku appeared to kill Steel. She captured Koko and Naon instantly. Betrayal. Shikoku announced she's the guard of Shuki and wants to destroy humanity. Classic villain speech. The bear tried to save Koko but got blown away. Aoba blocked an attack meant for Yuki. Aoba tried to fight, but the one horn betrayed her. Any Shuki bitten by Shikoku's snake becomes her slave. The one horn bit Aoba. Top 10 anime betrayals. Kyoka untied Yuki. Time for the protagonist to shine. Nai waited at base, sensing something bad. Kyoka recalled her peaceful village life. The Mato disaster took everything from her, and the killer one horn was right there. The one horn was buffed, so Kyoka's attacks bounced off. Shikoku watched from the sidelines, enjoying the show. Yuki and Kyoka couldn't pierce the armor. Yuki focused power into his fist. Falcon punch. It worked a bit. The one horn transformed into a scorpion mode. It charged at Yuki. Yuki blocked it to protect the injured squad behind him. What a Chad. He caught the horn with his mouth. No, concentrated power in his mouth weight. What? Kyoka sliced off its arm and horn. Yuki used chains to bind it. Kyoka unleashed her ultimate move. This slash is for my village, my friends, and my sweat and tears. The one horn turned into dust. Deleted. Revenge complete. Shikoku retreated. Not bad. I'll be back. Aoba praised Kyoka and was impressed by Yuki. Tenka, despite being injured, stood up to check on her subordinates, leader material. Then she immediately went back to flirting with her future-in-laws. Knowing Nai was safe, Yuki relaxed. Aoba lost her friends captured and her pet dead, so she stopped fighting. Her priority is rescuing Koko and Naon. Kyoka offered protection and help. Acknowledging Aoba is a victim too. She promised to stop the Yin-Yong Bureau. Aoba declined. She trusts Kyoka and Tenka, but not the organization. She will hide in other hidden villages in Mato. Tenka and Kyoka understood, suspecting the Supreme Commander is shady. The Supreme Commander loves the country, but is scary as hell. Tenka couldn't kill Aoba because of Yuki, but the Supreme Commander wouldn't hesitate. They kept this conversation secret. Hiding is the best option for Aoba right now. Yuki gave up on inviting his sister to the cause. Kyoka promised to protect them until the Yin-Yong Bureau is exposed. Back at base, Nai was happy everyone returned. Yuki thanked Tenka, but she said, thank me properly when we're alone. Wink wink. Yuki couldn't transform because everyone was too injured to supply energy. No, he was stuck in beast mode. He was sad to leave his sister, but he found a new family here. Kyoka transformed him after a shower. She told him to clean up for the reward in her room. Yuki panicked. Scene, Kyoka's bedroom. Yuki thought he'd get lucky, but the reward was just sleeping together. But Kyoka's outfit was too lewd for him to sleep, so Kyoka put him in a chokehold to force him to sleep. She used him as a wrestling dummy, just like his sister used to. Yuki fell asleep. This feels weirdly wholesome yet abusive. Meanwhile, Naon and Koko were swallowed by something gross. Shikoku is breeding new teammates. Creepy. Days later, Yuki cooked a feast. Himari and Shashu were still bickering. Kyoka asked Yuki to give a speech. He started a long speech, but they told him to keep it short. Himari finally welcomed him back properly. Yuki was touched. That night, Yuki held his sister's hair clip, remembering Kyoka's ambition. Aoba entrusted Yuki to Kyoka. Before leaving, Aoba hugged him and gave him the broken clip to fix. He promised to find a cure for her. New goal, become a hero and save sis. Next morning, Tenka crept into Yuki's bed to wake him up. Good morning, hubby. Kyoka walked in, saw the PDA, and Tenka fled. Yuki tried to explain she just visited, but Kyoka punished him anyway. Yuki's face was swollen from the discipline. Himari wanted to train more, and Yuki offered to help. Shashu was reading Love Tactics 101. She planned to ignore Yuki to make him chase her. Hide to get strategy. Nai detected Shuki. Mission time. Yuki fights for his sister now too. Kyoka fights to change the world. Aoba watches from afar. Yuki went back to being a janitor after the battle. Nai needed equipment check. Himari needed laundry. Shashu wanted a massage. The ignore him plan failed instantly. Himari scolded him for mixing panties with his clothes. Nai asked for workout tips. Yuki helped Kyoka train, but she wiped the Shuki out already. Squad 6 called for help. Nai used clairvoyance to find lost civilians. Himari and Shashu saved them. Shashu went giant to tank the mobs. Kyoka and Yuki arrived to carry the fight. With Yuki, Kyoka is unstoppable. A special Shuki attacked Himari. Yachio appeared to save her lil sis. Sahara spun a giant Shuki like a pizza dough. Tenka nuked a group. A giant boss appeared. Yuki asked to solo it with Kyoka. He wants to be strong enough to protect his sister. Time to show the results of training. They charged. The monster stepped on Yuki, but he lifted it, strong. He blew away the small fries attached to it. Kyoka sliced the boss in half. Everyone clapped. Tenka wants him, even more now. The Supreme Commander noticed a boy was enslaved contracted to Kyoka. She looked at his file with interest. Civilians were saved. Mission accomplished. Reward time. Yuki's perverted potential is awakening. Kyoka used to think her ability was trash, but with Yuki, she can aim for the top. If she becomes Supreme Commander, she can fix the system. Scene cut because it was Tolude. Tenka reported Yuki's status to Aoba. Tenka visits Aoba, orphan with gifts. She's really committed to the sister-in-law route. The day she calls Aoba's sister is coming soon. A captain's meeting regarding the Thunder Guards was called. Ren Supreme Commander summoned Yuki too. Kyoka warned Yuki, do not look her in the eyes. She's scary. Myra Squad Captain congratulated Kyoka on killing the One Horn, but said she's the next Supreme Commander. Kyoka warned Yuki about her too. Myra threatened Yuki about his shoelaces. Petty. Yokomo Squad 5 waited to congratulate Kyoka. They met Bell Squad 3 shaking outside. Bell's squad got wiped by humanoids, so she was scared to go in. She's afraid Ren will bully her. Yuki entered and saw the Council of Wafers captains. Kyoka told him not to look at Ren's eyes. He peeked and saw a demon face. Ren started the meeting. First, Squad 1 captain retired. New Squad 1 captain is Konami, a high schooler. She's Ren's disciple, so she's a strong candidate for the next commander. Kyoka considers her rival. They all argued about who would be the next boss. Tenka just worried Ren might steal her husband Yuki. Bell hoped Ren wouldn't notice her. Next topic, humanoid Shuki. Information confirmed one was defeated by Tenka, Aoba fight, but Ren was skeptical. 2 others are strong, but Ren said, nah, I'd win. Even guards can be killed by my captains. High expectations. Ren blamed Bell for Squad 3's failure. Emotional damage. Ren ordered special training for Bell. Bell cried. Kyoka suggested attacking the Thunder Guards directly. Ren preferred counter-attacking. Defense creates offense. Tenka signaled Kyoka to shut up about the Yin-Yang Bureau. Next topic, the boy Yuki. Yuki introduced himself. Fubuki Squad 9 praised him. Fubuki, is he Murray? Yachiyo's mom. MILF alert. Suddenly, a massive Shuki army attacked HQ. Bell cried again, scared of Yakumo molesting her. Or the monsters. Probably both. Ren ordered for captains to fight. The rest watch. Kyoka asked to join because she hates camping. Before Yuki could even transform, the 4 captains wiped the floor with the Shuki. Nai detected 5 enemies watching from afar. Ren realized they were the masterminds and decided to stretch her legs. She allowed Kyoka to tag along. Ren appeared in front of the enemies. Hello there. One tried to petrify her. Did not work. Sound attack. Ren turned him into a donut. They ganged up on her. but she nullified their abilities. Admin hacks. Her physical stats are maxed out too. Game over for them. When Yuki and Kyoko arrived, Ren had already killed everyone. Speedrun strats. Ren has 8 peach abilities. She's the final boss. Ren told Kyoko to transform Yuki because she wanted to watch the reward. Voyeurism. Since Yuki didn't do much, the reward was simple head pats, but Ren found him interesting. Ren's attitude reminded Yuki of his sister. Kyoko was salty because Ren was eyeing her property.